I predicted Chelsea to get a 2-1 victory against Newcastle United in Gameweek 9. And oh my God, I got that game spot on predicted. Well, almighty Manchester City failed to score more than 2 goals in a game against Southampton, a team who is struggling at the relegation bottom. Hey you, welcome to the channel for my Premier League predictions. Game week 10. Game week 9 was an exciting week full of surprises. Well, you know, before we get into the game week 10 predictions, my like target for this video is just 100 likes. Like and comment your thoughts and your predictions at the comment section. My name is Andy Final. Yeah, so starting the first game in game week 10 is coming out at the St. James Park. 12th on the league table, Newcastle United will be hosting Arsenal, 3rd on the league table. So far, assistance in game week 9, Arsenal managed to get a 2-2 draw against Liverpool, and Newcastle United in game week 9 also lost 2-1 to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It was an incredible game, a game with so many things at stake, but well, Chelsea managed to get a 2-1 victory over Newcastle United. You can see clearly that in the style that Newcastle were playing, they missed Anthony Gordon in their setup. That's one reason why they lost to Chelsea. Going into this game in game week 10, hosting Arsenal at the St. James Park, this is going to be an incredible game. Going into this game, I'm moving towards the away team. I'm predicting Arsenal to get a 2-1 victory over Newcastle United. Arsenal 2, Newcastle United 1. Yes, so moving on to the next game is between 12th on the league table, AFC Bournemouth hosting Manchester City in game week 10. We all know at the moment Manchester City is on top of the Premier League table, and assistance in game week 10, Manchester City in game week 9 got a 1-0 victory over Southampton, which was a shocking result. As we all know, Manchester City with Erling Haaland and all these big stars were expecting City to at least get more than 2 goals in that game. But well, at the end of the day, Manchester City won that game by a lone goal to 0. Going to this game against AFC Bournemouth in game week 10 is going to be a very tough game. Bournemouth in game week 9, it was unexpected. I thought Bournemouth was losing that game against Aston Villa, but from nowhere they equalized in the last minute, and that game ended in a 1-1 draw against Aston Villa in game week 9. And going to this game, I'm predicting Manchester City to draw a point at Bournemouth. Going to this game, I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. My prediction is AFC Bournemouth to Manchester City 2. Yeah, so moving on to the third game in game week 10 is between Ipswich Town versus Leicester City. 18th on the league table versus 15th on the league table. In game week 9, Ipswich Town lost against Brentford in game week 9, and Leicester City also lost 3-1 against Nottingham Forest in game week 9. So going into this game in game week 10 is going to be a crucial game. So far so good this season. Ipswich Town has not won any game in assistance in this campaign season. They have not won any game in the Premier League yet. Going into this game facing Leicester City, who also hasn't been that good this season. So far they are 15th on the league table. This is a chance for Ipswich Town to grab 3 points in this game. Going into this game, I'm predicting a narrow win for Ipswich Town. My prediction is Ipswich Town 1, Leicester City 0. Yes, so moving on to the next game in game week 10 is between Liverpool versus Brighton. 2nd on the league table versus 6th on the league table. In game week 9, Liverpool managed to get a 2-2 draw against Arsenal. Brighton also managed to get a 2-2 draw against Wolves in game week 9. Going to this game in game week 10 is going to be a very crucial game at Anfield. Liverpool need all the 3 maximum points to climb up the table, and this is going to be a tough one. You know, Brighton in recent games against Liverpool hasn't been an easy side for Liverpool to beat. A game with so many expectations, a game with so many things at stake. Liverpool need the 3 points and Brighton also need the 3 points. So going into this game, I'm predicting a narrow draw. My prediction is a 1-1 draw. Liverpool 1, Brighton 1. Yes, so moving on to the next game is between Nottingham Forest versus West Ham United. 7th on the Premier League table against 13th on the Premier League table. So far so good. Nottingham Forest this season has been impressive. They have been fantastic. So far, as it stands, 7th for Nottingham Forest. I know nobody expected Nottingham Forest to do this wonders. And to be frank with you, let's talk about Wood. Come on, what a good striker, what a finish. In the game against Leicester, he managed to get 2 goals, and before getting this game against Leicester, he scored against Crystal Palace 3 goals in his last 2 Premier League games for Nottingham Forest. So going to this game against West Ham team, who also in game week 9 managed to get a 2-1 victory over the struggling Manchester United team. I think this is going to be a tough game. And going to this game, Nottingham Forest at home, my prediction is Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham United 0. Yeah, so moving on to the next game in game week 10 is between Southampton versus Everton. 20th on the league table versus 16th on the league table. Everton in game week 9 managed to get a 1-1 draw against Fulham in game week 9. And Southampton also lost 1-0 against Manchester City. Southampton hosting Everton is going to be a tough and a cracker game. Going into this game, I'm predicting Everton to get a 2-1 win over Southampton in game week 10. My prediction is Everton 2, Southampton 1. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is between Wolves versus Crystal Palace. 19th on the league table versus 17th on the league table. In game week 9, Wolves managed to get a 2-2 draw against Brighton, and Crystal Palace in game week 9 shocked Tottenham Hotspur by winning 1-0 against Tottenham Hotspur in game week 9. Going to this game in game week 10 is going to be an exciting game, and I'm tipping Wolves to get their first victory for this season against Crystal Palace. Going to this game, I'm predicting Wolves to get a 2-1 victory over Crystal Palace. I'm predicting Wolves 2, Crystal Palace 1. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is between Tottenham Hotspur versus Aston Villa. 8th on the league table versus 4th on the league table. In game week 9, Tottenham Hotspur were shocked by Crystal Palace. They lost 1-0 against Crystal Palace in game week 9. And Aston Villa too in game week 9 drew 1-1 against AFC Bournemouth. In that game, Bournemouth was lucky that they got the last minute equalizer to make it 1-1 to at least get a point from that game. Going into this game, Tottenham Hotspur at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, who so far this season has been brilliant. I think this is going to be a tough game. Going into this game, my prediction for this game, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Aston Villa 2. Yes, so moving on to the game of the week in Premier League game week 10 is between Manchester United versus Chelsea. We all know so far this season, Manchester United has been terrible. Manchester United has been the worst team among the top 6 clubs in England. And so far, going into this game in game week 10 against Chelsea side, who also in game week 9 managed to get a 2-1 victory over Newcastle United in game week 9. This is going to be a tough game at Old Trafford. I know Man United is playing home, but this time around, Chelsea is going to manage to get a win over Manchester United. My prediction is a 3-1 victory for Chelsea. Chelsea 3, Manchester United 1. Yeah, so moving on to the last game in game week 10 is between Fulham versus Brentford. Fulham in game week 9, Fulham managed to get a 1-1 draw against Everton in game week 9. And Brentford also in game week 9 managed to get. This is going to be an exciting game. Going to this game, I'm predicting a 2-1 victory for Fulham. My prediction is Fulham 2, Brentford 1. Yes, so these are my predictions for Premier League game week 10. So far, my like target for this video is just 100 likes. Like and comment your thoughts and your predictions at the comment section. I'll leave a link to my good friend's channel, Mr. Footballer Lose. He also does similar prediction video each and every game week. So go and check out his channel. Till we meet in another video, I'm still your boy Andy Finer. Bye bye for now.